Imagine a foggy night in 1888. A dark alley in London. Suddenly a scream, then silence. The next morning, police find a brutally murdered body. The killer? No trace. No witnesses. And this was just the beginning. After this, for more murders. A killer who wrote mocking letters to the police. Who cut out his victim's kidney and sent it to the police. And the most astonishing thing, even after 135 years, no one knows who he really was. In today's video, you will learn the complete story of history's most mysterious serial killer, Jack the Ripper. So let's begin. London in 1888. The reign of Queen Victoria. London was then the capital of the world's most powerful empire. On one side, the grandeur of the royal palace, the luxurious life of the rich. On the other side, the East End's Whitechapel area, where extreme poverty, crime, and darkness prevailed. Whitechapel was filled with narrow alleys, dim gaslight. As soon as evening came, thick fog would descend that made people invisible even 10 feet away. Thousands of poor people lived here. Many women made their living on the streets. No one knew that history's most terrifying killer was hiding in these dark alleys. August 31st, 1888. Friday night. Time, 3:40 a.m. A cart driver named Charles Cross was walking to work in an alley called Bucks Row. Suddenly he saw something lying on the ground. At first, he thought maybe some drunk woman. But when he got closer, his blood froze. Marion Nichols, 43 years old, mother of 5 children. Her throat was cut, her stomach was torn open. But surprisingly, no one heard any scream. The killer came silently, did his work, and left. Police came and started the investigation. But there were no clues, no witnesses. Police thought maybe some gang member or a madman. But they didn't know this was just the beginning. Just 8 days later, September 8th, 1888, Saturday morning, 6 a.m., a resident was going outside in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street. He saw Annie Chapman lying on the ground, 47 years old. But this time the murder was even more brutal. Not just throat cut, the stomach was completely torn open. Some organs had been removed. Doctors said the killer used a surgical knife and had medical knowledge. This time police were certain it was the same killer, and he could strike again at any time. Terror descended on the entire Whitechapel area. Women were afraid to go out at night. Police increased patrols. But who was the killer? Where did he live? September 27th, 1888. A letter arrived at the Central News Agency, written in red ink, handwriting messy. The letter said, "Dear boss, I heard the police can't catch me. Ha ha ha. I hate those whores and will continue killing them. I really liked the last job. Didn't even give the girl a chance to scream. In the next job, I will cut off the girl's ear and send it to the police for fun. You all be careful. Try to catch me if you can. With regards, Jack the Ripper." This was the first time the name Jack the Ripper appeared. The killer wasn't just murdering. He was mocking the police, throwing down a challenge. The newspapers printed this letter. All of London was shocked. But the question was the letter really from the killer? Or was some madman joking? The answer came just 3 days later. September 30th, 1888. Sunday night. This night became the most terrifying. First victim, 1 a.m., Burner Street. A man was entering the alley with his horse cart. Suddenly the horse stopped. He got down and saw Elizabeth Stride lying on the ground, 44 years old. Throat cut, drowning in blood. But one thing was different, the stomach wasn't cut. Why? Because the killer couldn't finish his work. He ran away hearing the man's approach. The killer was angry. His work was incomplete. He needed another victim. Second victim. Just 45 minutes later. 1:45 a.m. Mitre Square. Just 10 minutes walking distance. A police constable was patrolling. At 1:30 a.m., he had been to this alley. Everything was fine. Now he was entering again, just 15 minutes later. And he saw Catherine Eddowes lying on the ground, 46 years old. But this time the scene was unimaginably brutal. Throat cut. Face completely mutilated. Stomach torn open with intestines pulled out and placed beside. Kidney and part of the uterus had been taken away. And all this in just 15 minutes. Where police were patrolling every 15 minutes, the killer came, did such brutal work, and disappeared. Police were stunned. What kind of killer was this who was so fast, so brutal, and so invisible? October 16, 1888. A small box arrived for a man named George Lusk, head of the local vigilance committee. What was inside? Half of a human kidney. Later it was proven to be Catherine Eddowes. With it, a letter. Mr. Lusk, I sent you half the kidney I took from a woman. I fried and ate the other half. It was very tasty. From hell, catch me if you can. All of London was paralyzed with terror. What kind of monster was this who took pride in his crimes? Who ate his victims' organs? November 9th, 1888. Friday night. Miller's Court. A small rented room. Victim, Mary Jane Kelly, only 25 years old. The youngest victim. This time the killer got the opportunity to work not on the street, but in a closed room. And he expressed all his brutality. The next morning, the landlord came to collect rent and looked inside through the window. What he saw made him scream. Police arrived. Opened the room. The scene they saw, police officers vomited. Many broke down mentally. Mary's body had been completely mutilated. It seemed the killer had been doing his work for hours. This was one of the most brutal crime scenes in human history. And after that, suddenly everything stopped. After November 1888, no more murders occurred. Jack the Ripper vanished like vapor. Why did the killings stop? 3 possible reasons. The killer died, maybe committed suicide or died of illness. The killer was admitted to an asylum due to mental illness. The killer left London, maybe to another country. But no one is certain. Police searched like mad. More than 1,000 people were interrogated. The main suspects were Montague John Druitt, a lawyer and teacher. A few weeks after the last murder, his body was found in the Thames River. Suicide. His family said he was mentally ill. Aaron Kosminski, a Polish Jewish barber. Mental patient. Hated women. After the murders, he was sent to an asylum. Severin Klasowski, a barber. Later hanged for poisoning 3 wives. Francis Tumblety, an American doctor. Hated women. Was in London during the murders. Later fled to America. Prince Albert Victor, Queen Victoria's grandson. Some theories say the royal family was involved. But there's no evidence. Sir William Gull, the Queen's personal physician, had surgical knowledge, but none of them could be proven. The killer's identity remained a mystery. Even after 135 years, people are searching. Modern scientists are trying to identify the killer through DNA testing. In 2014, a businessman named Russell Edwards claimed DNA tests proved the killer was Aaron Kosminski. But scientists didn't accept this claim. The sample was contaminated. In 2019, another DNA study was done. Again, Kosminski's name came up. But there's no conclusive evidence. Truth be told, we may never know who Jack the Ripper really was. Who is Jack the Ripper? Analyzing all evidence and information, it appears he was a local, knew the area very well. He had surgical knowledge, maybe a doctor, butcher, or medical student. He was strong and fast. He was mentally ill. Such brutality is not normal. Probably well-dressed victims trusted him. But whoever he was, Jack the Ripper will remain history's most infamous unsolved. There have been thousands of serial killers in the world. But why is Jack the Ripper so famous? Because this was the first serial killer who received massive media coverage. The killer's letters and mockery, which had never been seen before. The dark world of Victorian London. And most importantly, the mystery remains unsolved today. Hundreds of books have been written. Thousands of movies, TV series, documentaries have been made. Even today in London, there are Jack the Ripper tours. Even today at night, tourists go to those old alleys of London. Standing in the fog, they imagine what terrible events happened here 135 years ago. So friends, this was the complete story of Jack the Ripper, history's most mysterious and terrifying serial killer. Now a question for you. Who do you think Jack the Ripper really was? A doctor? A butcher? Someone from the royal family? Or just an ordinary madman? Let us know your opinion in the comments. And tell us which suspect seems most suspicious to you. Montague John Druitt, Aaron Kosminski, or someone else? And the biggest question, do you think we will ever know who Jack the Ripper really was? If you liked this video, definitely give it a like. And if you want to hear more such mysterious historical stories, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Let us know in the comments which mysterious story you want to hear in the next video. Another serial killer's story? Some unsolved murder mystery? Or some paranormal incident? And yes, if any of your friends like thrillers and mysteries, don't forget to share this video with them. See you in the next video with another exciting story. Until then, everyone stay well.